I was doing, folks, Paul from Primal, and a bit later today actually because it's busy. But anyway, get a quick talk in anyway for you. So, the topic of this conversation came about because I was talking to a guy, and I think he's about 43, 44. Typical guy we want to train this way, overweight, not happy with how he looked, blah blah blah. And we started going into the conversation about why he wasn't training. And I sort of explained, I asked him what he was doing, and it turns out he was doing basically what every atypical guy I seem to meet in my age seems to be doing: getting that gym membership, going to the gym, going on the cross trainer for 20 minutes, going on the stationary bike, doing some machine weights, and that was basically about it. And he was pissed off and demotivated because he hadn't got the body shape that he wanted. Now, I haven't convinced him to sign up, but I will, and I know he's definitely thinking about it. So I'm pretty confident he'll come in and we'll help him change. But it made me sort of think that, well, I suppose I should know this. If he's like that, how many other guys out there are actually going to the gym, not realising what they're doing? And I'm going on these really complex topics, and sometimes simplicity, as I always say, simplicity works the best. So I just thought I'd really simplify things and make it super, super easy for any guys out there who maybe can't train with us, or can't afford to train with us, or can't get to us or something, but still wants to be able to train and do things right in the gym. Well, then I'll just give you some basic rundowns of what you need to do. So, guys, 35 plus, every guy, if you're 35 plus, you need to be lifting some sort of heavy weight. Now, heavy weight is subjective, dependent on your skill set, on your training levels. For example, I can pull 200, 210 deadlift. For a lot of guys, that's fuck me weight. My mate Sean Crow, he can pull 300 plus. That's a warm-up weight for him. So it's not really so. But there's no way I'm going to go in the gym and be embarrassed to pull 200 in front of Sean because Sean can lift more than me, because it's not about what Sean can do, it's about what I can do. And that's a big thing guys need to understand. Leave the ego at the door, get into the gym and lift what is heavy for you. Around about 70%, if you're working around about the 70th percentile, you're going to improve, okay? So a lot of guys go into the gym, and when you're in the 20s, what you do is you go in and you blast out as many reps as possible as you can, or lift as heavy as you can to try to impress guys. And that sort of, and girls as well, and that sort of crosses over as you get older. You just don't lose that habit, and you still go to the gym thinking you're 20, you're Billy Big Balls, you can lift a weight, and then something happens eventually. Whereas what you want to be doing is working around about 70% of your 1RM. And what you'll do there is you'll lift it's called sub-maximal lifting, okay, sub-maximal weights. You'll lift maybe 5 reps at that 70%, and you're going to try to focus on expanding your 70% until it literally swallows up what was once your 1RM. But you don't have to actually train your 1RM, because as a good friend of mine, Paul McElroy, says, I love this quote, he said, a day spent testing your 1RM is a week spent not improvement. And this is where a lot of guys go wrong. We're going to lift heavy and lifting too heavy, and your neurological system just goes, fuck you, your CNS just decides it's had enough, and you go backwards. So working on the 70th percentile is key, and it seems to be the magic number for getting the most gains. So deadlift, squat, bench press, shoulder press, etc., bent over row, pull up, working about 70th percentile of your 1RM, and focusing on expanding that will make you better. Now this is going to be like I can't believe Paul Murray saying this, but yes, steady state cardio. I have come about to change my mindset on what steady state cardio is. For muscle building, it probably isn't the best, okay? If you're focused, that's why marathon runners are not built like sprinters. But at a 40-year-old guy, you're not trying to be a bodybuilder, probably, and you're not trying to be a marathon runner. Well, there's probably going to be more marathon runners than bodybuilders, but the reality is, we are getting older, and your heart and your lungs are muscles, and they need to be exercised too, because you don't want to die. It's sort of the purpose of training, to prevent death and to extend life and extend the quality of life. So your heart and lungs need exercise. Now, I was completely against steady state cardio in my fighting days, in my younger days, which is actually crazy when I think about this, because at the end of the day, a fighter needs cardio. The fittest guy in when evenly matched fight, the guy who can go longer is going to win, okay? That's what happened with McGregor against Diaz, the first fight. McGregor's cardio ability was not as good because his muscles got bigger and the muscles were absorbing so much oxygen in the blood that he gassed out. Whereas Diaz was a triathlete, sprinter, runner, swimmer, cyclist, and his cardio abilities just went on forever. And as rounds got later, he was able to push that pace, push Conor McGregor into his anaerobic zone while he stayed in his aerobic zone, and that meant he was training with oxygen, fighting with oxygen, whereas McGregor was fighting without oxygen, and he eventually gassed out. He had to slow down, couldn't get the pace up, and he won. So when we are younger, we're always thinking about, you know, looking good, feeling good, blah blah blah. But you get older, you need to start accepting this. So I started running. I hated running, and I love running, even though I can't do it anymore because my hips are screwed. But I still, even the other day, yesterday, I went out for a couple of 1k runs. I can handle a 1k, and even that, just as a almost like meditative state, it's great. So definitely get some steady state cardio in it. Lift heavy, sleep. I don't want to talk about this the other last week. You need sleep, okay? 8 hours sleep. I can't remember the exact states. I put out some facts about how it's going to affect. There's a 45% or 450% increase, a chance of heart attacks, etc. The clocks are going forward. They examined the world records of the heart attacks in hospitals, and they found that in the Northern Hemisphere in March, as the clocks go forward, there is a massive increase in heart attacks the next day. And they're saying due because of the 1 hour less sleep. And they say the reverse is true when the clocks go back. When you get 1 extra sleep, there's a massive drop in heart attacks worldwide. So there's something there, definitely. So 100% sleep is required, sleep is important, and it's something that in today's modern society, none of us really get. The painful one, cut down the booze. Now, I've, on the 3rd of January, decided to go off booze for a year. Haven't touched it since, and I'm feeling brilliant for it, and I don't even think about it anymore, and it's probably the best thing I've done. I didn't drink from I was 18 to I was 25, and then my 25th birthday, I discovered vodka and Red Bull, and that was it all over for me. But now I'm off all that shit, and I'm feeling better. So yes, lads, we don't need to cut it out completely, you don't have to go as extreme as me, but if you're overweight, and if you're sitting in the house and you're drinking on Friday nights, going out with the boys on Saturday night, and even have a cheeky pint on Sunday night, then you need to start thinking about yourself and asking yourself a question: do you actually have a problem? You know, can you go off it? This is the thing. Are you able to go off it? If someone turned around and said to you, you have to go off drink for a month, could you do it? Or is it like, holy shit, what an it? If you're at that stage, you need to start reevaluating things and ask yourself, what is the problem in your life? Because it's not normal that you can't give up something for a month because if it's going to do you good. If you're feeling that way, maybe look at yourself. And that's the painful thing. A lot of guys are going to say, don't talk shite, Paul. But it's the reality. If you cannot cut down and drink, if you cannot go out on a weekend and not drink, then you've got to ask yourself questions. Watching what they eat. Now, I said this last week as well, we were doing a fast. All the guys in the gym have got a wee WhatsApp group, and we were doing fasting. And yesterday, all the guys done their first 24-hour fast. I done 36 hours, 37 hours actually, and I feel absolutely amazing. And a lot of the guys said the same thing. They haven't felt as good. One of the boys messaged me saying he had more energy he's ever felt. Another guy messaged the group saying it's the first time he woke up before his alarm clock in months and months and months. And fasting is good. It's a good way. It's only an eating protocol. It's not like the be all and the end all, and some people doesn't suit. But if you can do it, I would thoroughly recommend guys my age and over start considering fasting. There's a lot of health benefits to it. I'm not going to go into in this talk, but there's a lot of health benefits, and it's a really simple way to cut down on calories, which is the main building block of weight gain and weight loss. Calorie intake, calories in, calories out, calories energy. So if you're expending more energy you're taking in, you will lose weight. If you're taking more energy than you expend, you'll put on weight. Unfortunately, our lifestyle, the way we sit behind desks or sit in the car all day, do very little exercise, we have become fat bastards basically, and that's because we're eating too much and exercising too little. So fasting is a great way of getting your bloods under control, getting your diet under control, and helping you lose weight. And that losing weight will start having a significant difference in your lifestyle. Stretch and mobility. This is another thing that's painful for me. I hate stretching. It bores the life out of me. But I look at my good friend Johnny Neeson, Movement Maestro. If you don't know him, check him out on Instagram. He's unbelievable at what he does. And his mobility I'm jealous of it because it is so good. And he focuses an awful lot on putting his muscles through stressful ranges of motion to improve it, and it's working brilliant for him. He can do shoulder dislocations. He's phenomenal in the rings, phenomenal on the body with stuff, and he looks fantastic, apart from ginger hair. But it's because he focuses so much on mobility, and it's something that I have slowly but surely I'm coming around to. I even said the other week I'm maybe going to start yoga, even though I hate yoga, because it's something that we need. When you've got a mobility issue, let's look this way. You look at gymnasts and you're amazed at what they can do, but the reality is, what they're doing is just normal range of movement for most people. That's how we should be doing. We should all be able to move like that if we stretched and regularly moved our bodies the way they're meant to move. But what we do is we sit on our arse doing nothing all day. Our bodies are actually adapting really, really well. All of us are getting these hunchbacks, and we've got tight hip flexors, we've got back problems, and it's simply because our body's adapting to what we put them through most. Sitting down, sit in the car, sit in the house, sit at the dinner table, sit and work. Your body is doing what it's meant to do. It's adapting to its environment, and the environment we're exposed to mostly is sitting, and that is playing havoc with our life. And it really is. There was who was it said this? I can't remember, but there was one guy, and I'll come back to me in a minute. There was one guy, Supple Leopard guy, God, his name's going in my head, does the mobility one, it'll come back to me. But he's big pushing standing desks. And he's worked out that it's equivalent, a year standing desk as opposed to sitting, is the equivalent of burning the equivalent of calories of 33 marathons a year, which is massive just by changing from a standing desk to a sitting desk. He'll come back to me, his name's going to come back to me, I can't remember. But anyway, focus on mobility. And then listen, I understand, because more than anyone I understand, a thought of an hour doing stretching is, it's hell. I just couldn't do it. But you can find 15 minutes in your day to do simple, basic mobility drills. And we don't need to be doing yoga crazy stuff. All you need is some really simple movements. Things we do here: zenith, 6-point rock, pumps, hangs, sit in the squat position. All these type of exercises are going to open the hips, open the ankles, open the T-spine, open the shoulders, open the chest, and make you feel, look, and move better. And that's what we're all, at the end of the day, that's all we really want here, okay? So it's a massive crux, and it should be probably one of the big base levels of the foundations of strength building, because the more mobile you are, the more you can move your shoulders in the right range of movement, or the more you can move your hips, and the easier the weight's going to move, the heavier you can lift. Okay, biomechanics will work better, so you need to be doing that. So honestly, I know you'll have resistance to do it like I have. Do it. It's one of the best things you'll do. Stop thinking they're still 20. Again, this goes back to what we've done previously. We do continuously now, because no one's ever showed us anything different. You're not 20 years old. You can't train like a 20-year-old. You're not going to recover like a 20-year-old. And that is just a fact of life. I'm not talking to the guys like my friend Andy McKenzie or Mark Moran, who are 43 and in better condition than most guys that I know in their 20s. They've been training like that all their lives. Their body is used to that type of stress they can put upon it, because they've just never stopped training. When you're going to guys who are in their 40s, dads, lazy, eating shitty foods, overweight, you cannot train like you were when you were 20 and fit and young. You have to accept that you have to step right back, leave your ego at the door, and start off with real basic movements that may make you feel paranoid in the gym, but trust me, no one gives a flying fuck. Who cares if you can't back squat and this guy 20 years old can? So what? It doesn't matter. The fact is, you're in a gym to improve yourself, and this is where guys make it wrong. We look around and everyone does this, we start projecting our thoughts into other people's heads. So I see a guy, I'm doing a goblet squat, and this guy's doing 200 kilo squat. I start thinking, shit, he's probably looking at me thinking I'm weak as piss. That guy's worried about the squat bars, crushing him to death. He doesn't give a shit about me, he hasn't noticed me. But in my head, he's noticed me. So therefore, all my reactions are going to be in line with my thought pattern. So if you start thinking like that, then you're going to hold yourself back. And if you are in a gym where people are actually like that, and there's those dickheads with the gloves on, the vests on, walking about, puffed up chests, and spending more time looking in the mirror, looking at you because they're doing more half reps than you can do, you need to leave that gym, because it's not a good environment, and it's not going to encourage you to continue coming back. And you need to find a gym, aka Primal, that is going to help you push on and actually teach you to not to worry about what level you're at, and only focus on the journey. So definitely stop training like you're 20, accept who you are, accept where you are, and accept you need to adapt. And slowly but surely, listen, if you continue doing this and you continue showing up every single day and doing what you're told, if you're a Primal, eventually you will be able to train very close to where you were like in your 20s. So, and anyway, last one, handstands. Learn to do a handstand, simply because I'm trying to learn them. I've been trying to learn them for 4 years, and they're fucking awesome. And if you can put a handstand out when you're drunk at a party, you're going to be a cool guy, and your kids are going to think you're awesome. So what's the last one on fun level? Try to learn a handstand because they rock. Anyway, that's it today, folks. Thanks very much for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.